So, back in 2004, there was a quarterback who dominated the league. Obviously, then he did what he did, and he got, went to jail. Nonetheless, though, that quarterback was Michael Vick. And to add on to the Atlanta Falcons' endless pursuit of catching them all quarterback-wise, we added Michael Vick to this roster with Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix. Yeah. They now have 3 technical startable quarterbacks. Isn't that a beautiful sight? They also got Kyle Pitts. They also got Rondale Moore. They picked up this offseason. Drake London. Darnell Mooney. They picked up this offseason. Ray McLeod. They actually did a little bit of work this offseason, other than picking Kirk Cousins up. They also drafted Brandon Trice. Who was their first round draft pick? Falcons? Who was that guy? I can't think of his name. Oh, yeah. Michael Penix. Listen, I still think that was stupid, the fact they drafted him. But you know what? They also drafted duelists, so I guess that's a factor for another day. So we're going to see how well, with updated rosters and updated everything, how well this Falcon squad can go with Michael Vick at quarterback. So let's see. First week, they beat the Steelers 24-10. Again, this is updated. Saquon Barkley's on the Eagles, etc. And so far, when I've done these quarterbacks, when they take over their team, when they take over past quarterbacks, take over their new teams, it's been very hit or miss. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. So I'm kind of always interested to see how these go. Some quarterbacks absolutely dominate. Some quarterbacks are kind of mid. So far, 1-2 after losing the first 2 weeks there. Oh, sorry, winning the first week and then losing 2 weeks. They lose to the Saints, so now they're 1-3. Okay, apparently the 2004 Michael Vick can't save the day here. Okay, they have a really good battle versus the Buccaneers, and that's also divisional, which actually helps them out immensely. Now they get to play the Carolina Panthers. They win that game. Okay, so now they're 3-3. They play the 4-2 Seahawks here. We'll see how this shapes out. Survey says, there we go, EA. Bam, they win that game. But they also get an injury. They lose two of their middle linebackers. Okay, well that's not what you want to see in the season. I don't know why I'm keep burping this video for so far. But now they play the 4-3 Buccaneers. They're currently also 4-3, so tied up there. They lose to the Bucks. So currently the Panthers are 6-2. Again, updated rosters is crazy sometimes. 5-3 Bucks, 4-4 Saints, and 4-4 Falcons. Play the 5-2 Cowboys. Wow. Usually the Cowboys always lose to good teams, but I don't know what this team would be, the Falcons-wise. Are they a good team or kind of mid team? I don't know. 5-5 right now, so I guess they're technically just a 500 team. Now they play the Broncos. They beat the Broncos going into their bye week. They lose their strong safety, and they lose Drake London. Dang, this team is kind of falling apart at the seams here. But at least going to the bye week, it's 6-4, 6-5, 5-5, and 5-6. So this division is very, very close, which I feel like it always is. The last 4 or 5 years, it's always been like this with this division, where it's very much back and forth, and it's anyone's division at any time. But they do lose to the Chargers, so now they're going to be 6-6, playing the Minnesota Vikings. They go from first in the division to fourth, to second, to third, to fourth. It's NFC South, man. I always find it so humorous. They beat the Vikings, so now they're third in the division. All right, so Tyler Algier gets hurt for 42 weeks. Complete MCL tear. Wow. Yeah, that will do it. So they lose one running back, but they, of course, do have Michael Vick still. The age-old, he is actually considered a running back. They get destroyed by the Raiders. And then they lose Richie Grant, Grady Jarrett, and they lose Bijan Robinson. Oh my lordy. Bijan, complete MCL tear, 45 weeks. Tyler Algier, 41 weeks on a complete MCL tear. They don't have any running backs left. They just lost both of their running backs on their team. I mean, they still got Michael Vick, but their starting running back is Trey Sermon and Jace McClellan. Wow. Okay. This is not what I expected, but hey, listen. We rocking and rolling at this point, man. We just rocking and rolling, continuing this. All right, so they beat the Giants. So now they're technically still in the playoff race. They got to play the 7-8 Washington Commanders. Oh, that's going to be a tough one. A little bit of tougher matchup, and they lose 35-0. You guys lost 35-0 to the Commanders. 8-8. All right, the 9-7 Panthers here. They got to win to make the playoffs, and they win, but they just missed the playoffs at 9-8. So they fall one game outside of the playoffs, and they're not able to make the playoffs with 2004 Michael Vick. You know what I will say about this whole scenario is, well, yes, 2004 Michael Vick was really OP. You also got to remember the time frame and the landscape of the league when he was OP. When Michael Vick played in 2004, it wasn't really common for a mobile quarterback to be running around, or a mobile quarterback in general. You know, most quarterbacks were pocket passers. So when Michael Vick really hit the scene, it wasn't just the fact that he was athletically gifted and he was faster than everyone. It was also that what defenses weren't ready for it. And once he went ahead and took the scene and really exploded, within, a year, he goes to jail. So it's like then he gets taken out of the league, and now there's nobody else who is that fast or that crazy skill-wise when it comes to running. So it kind of goes in dormant until we see around the time period of Cam Newton and some other mobile quarterbacks really start, hit the seam, RG3 as well. So I feel like, well, yes, in the time of 2004, Michael Vick was absolutely insane, and you got to give him his credit for that. But it's also nowadays we have quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson that can take off running and make moves, Justin Fields. So I feel like if Michael Vick in 2004 played nowadays, he would still be successful, but this is actually probably very realistic to how he would go. 9-8, maybe 10-7, maybe a fringe playoff quarterback, because teams are ready for this. Players have gotten faster. Players have gotten better. Players been able to handle, a lot more when it comes to this kind of stuff, where back in the day they couldn't. Now, the interceptions definitely did not help. 18 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. In real life, he wasn't this bad at throwing the football. But again, he was always known for his mobile ability. I'm surprised he had 299 yards rushing and 1 touchdown. When you look at the fact that he lost both of his starting running backs, I really would expect him to have more yards rushing than that. But hey, in the end of the day, Kyle Pitts did not really get his targets. He got 58 receptions on the year. I guess that's better than what he would normally get. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, again, he didn't even come into MVP category, but I feel like this is somewhat realistic. Again, Patrick Mahomes, putting him back in old Maddens and watching him play, yeah, he would be dominant. He would be absolutely insane just because of how great he is throwing the football. And again, he does have the mobile upside, which again, defense at that time probably wouldn't be able to handle as well. I think that's why Tom Brady and Peyton were so successful so long, because they were such a skill set above the rest of the league, and also defenses didn't know how to stop it. Nowadays, I feel like there's a lot better quarterbacks as a whole than there was back in the day. But, like when we took Joe Montana recently in the video, right, and we put him in 2024, he was amazing back in the day. 5 Super Bowls. But, in the end, you gotta look at the fact that, well, he won 5 Super Bowls. That was a different era of football. He was going against mailman and, like Wendy's workers or McDonald's workers, where nowadays you're going against millionaires, multi-millionaires, who every single second of their life is training and working on their body and taking supplements to get them to a high level. I think it's a little different of a thing. But anyway, the Chiefs beat the Lions in the Super Bowl. Caleb Williams is MVP. Cooper Kupp is Offensive Player of the Year. Greg Rosario is Defensive Player of the Year. Caleb Williams is also Rookie of the Year. And Michael Hall Jr. is Defensive Rookie of the Year. Drew Tranquill won the MVP award. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.